Have you always wanted to do cinema grade content for you and your business to help promote it, but you think it's out of reach? Well, my guest today, he believes that it is within your reach, and we're going to talk about that today. So let's check out today on the OC Business Podcast. All right, I'm here with William Hellmuth. He is a director of photography, and actually he's one of my favorite directors of photography. Thanks for being here, Will.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And I'm flattered to be one of your favorites.
I said one of, because I don't want to offend everybody else out there. I mean, I have some guys going, I thought I was your favorite.
Yeah, come on.
But anyway, Will, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell me about what you've been doing. Like, what is your background? Mm-hmm. What kind of films? So what do you do? Who are you? What is a director of photography even?
Good question. Director of photography is the name for the position on a film set for the person who is in charge of the lighting and camera departments. So basically, what your image looks like, that's what I do. That's my responsibility. So how that might translate to like the on-set experience. And by set, I mean, it could be something really big with a bunch of crew, or it could just be like me with an assistant or something like that. But as long as we're shooting, that's a set. So that would mean I'm, paying attention to, if we're shooting outdoors, where the sun is and making sure that it's not, that light's not hitting you in an unpleasing way or something like that. And if it is, modifying it with diffusion or whatever. Or if we're indoors, setting up lights so that everyone and everything looks good. And and then on the camera end, capturing that in a nice way, exposing the image properly, all that good stuff. And actually, sometimes I push back against that phrase I just said, exposing the image properly, and instead say exposing it for an effect and an intended feeling. Because there's a lot of exposure or ways that you can pull up an image where it might, on paper, technically everything might be right and be good, but it's not actually communicating anything to the viewer, making the viewer feel anything. And so I believe ultimately that's the aim of my work.
I like what you're saying there because about the feeling. I want to ask you about that because I think a lot of times when we think about video, especially, if somebody's a business owner or whatever, they're looking at, can I see myself?
Yeah.
Is it lit right? Can you hear me? Okay, that's good enough. But talk a little bit about why the feel, the emotion is an important part of crafting an image.
Yeah. I mean, think about when you're watching a movie and, a scene comes up with a character who's steeped in mystery or something, and there are a lot of ways you can say that visually with the cinematography. Maybe that person is like silhouetted or something, or maybe their, face is lit so that you just see half of it or something like that. There are ways you can play up mystery or romance, even like beautiful soft light that wraps around someone's face and makes them look gorgeous. And it's the same thing with your business. You might be exposed, right? Like, as in you might be visible on camera and they might be able to hear you and all that kind of stuff. But what is the shot saying about you? How is that light that's falling on your face? Like, what does it say about you and your brand and your business and all that stuff? Is it saying that, like, you are just a casual person who doesn't really care, or are you trying to give a sense of luxury or prestige or whatever, and there are a lot of different ways to do that. But it's just important to be thinking about how is this going to make the viewer feel on the other end of the screen, and how can we accomplish that?
Yeah, no, I really love that. Tell me a little bit about some of your film, your narrative work.
Yeah, I mean, it's I came out to California from Texas to do narrative, to make movies. And that's just kind of been my focus and my passion now for years. I've shot 5 scripted movies, so 5 narrative films, feature films, and then I've shot many other feature-length documentaries, actually. And it's work that I find very rewarding. I love showing up and like building a scene, telling a story. And what I mean by building a scene is, there's a scene where, there's the script and, like, well, here's what our actors are doing. But then on top of that, now it's, well, how am I going to capture that? And beyond just like showing what they're doing with the camera, how can I use the lighting and the camera angles and everything to bring everything together in a way that is, well, just kind of like what I said before, say something and make the audience feel a certain way and tell a story. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, you're really explaining a mantra I have, and anybody that's been listening so far is the medium is the message.
Yeah.
What it looks like, how you're making your audience feel. That's just as much a message as what you're saying with your mouth, the words you were saying.
Yeah.
And crafting that right.
And what's interesting is I think that's the same, whether you're shooting, some cool, dramatic, stylized movie or shooting like a quick video for, your business here in Orange County. Like it always comes back to the story that you're trying to tell.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay. So do this, break it down for me. So whether if I'm filming with an iPhone or I have your big camera system set, everything going, what are some of the main principles that somebody does? You would do this with every single shoot, no matter what the content, no matter the budget, no matter the crew, the gear. What are some of the things? Walk me through some of the steps you would make sure are done to create a good video.
Well, first off, I love my iPhone. It's like all of my BTS photos, like not even just BTS photos, like when I'll travel.
That's behind the scenes, by the way.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
That's film
right.
speak.
Even when I'm just like traveling and taking pictures as a tourist or whatever, like, and I want them to be good pictures, even like it's my iPhone because it's a camera I have in my pocket and it takes great pictures. I can shoot raw, I can edit them and all that great stuff. There's a lot you can do with your iPhone, and I think even sometimes business owners don't realize how much can be accomplished with just their iPhone. So what I'm always going to be doing, though, whether I'm shooting on my iPhone or a cinema camera, is planning is really a big one. Like sit down and figure out like what is this video? What do we need it to be? And is it like I said earlier, is this prestige or is this relatable? If it's relatable, that's going to affect the type of camera movements I might think are appropriate. But then when we're actually there on set, I'm always going to want to get good sound. That's always really important.
What's the percentage? Audio is what percentage of a video? I've heard that statement like 80%.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like. Well, it's like 80% of perceived quality. A lot of times just comes down to like how good the sound is. Like you can watch a movie with like, that doesn't look pretty. If it has good sound, if it sounds good, that's fine. But the inverse is not true. Like if a movie sounds cheap and sounds really bad, like you're gonna tune out. And it's the same with video.
Yeah. So get your sound right. Huh?
Yeah. So sound is something I'm always going to really be paying attention to, and light is also something that I'm going to be paying attention to. Like, is there like let's just say if it's really simple, like even if I'm shooting it on an iPhone or something like that, how is the light falling on the subject's face?
Yeah.
Are there weird shadows, that don't look flattering? Is the background all blown out because there's not enough light on their face, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be trying to manipulate that or at least find the place with good light, and use it. And so, there's always going to be that. And that's really where the planning comes in, I think, is if I know what the video needs to be exactly, then we'll know like just exactly what needs to get captured and how it's going to be captured.
Yeah.
And every single video is different is the thing. So it's really like the things that I would need to like want to bring, like, you know, that would just change almost every single time based on the planning. Mm-hmm. So it would just, it's really sitting down and figuring out, you know, what does this really need to be, and moving from there.
Yeah.
So
no, planning, I'm a huge proponent of pre-production, as we call it.
Yep.
I really believe that is where a production lives and dies.
Yeah.
Because if you do the pre-production right, the rest is execution, is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it right, typically if a project goes wrong, it's because you could probably find the reason you didn't do something right in the pre-production.
Yeah. A big thing, like people say jokingly that they kind of, well, sometimes jokingly, sometimes not, but you know, fix it in post is the popular thing to say when you make a mistake on set and you think, well, I'll put in an editing software.
Every editor hates that phrase, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite counter to that is fix it in pre. So we plan it out and you spot the problems ahead of time and you solve them ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So have a good plan, Ed. Know the emotion you're trying to convey.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things. Get your lighting, your audio. And something else I hear you saying here too, which I think I've been coming to believe, is would you say, I mean, obviously gear matters, but would you say it's less important about the gear, more important about who's operating the gear?
Yeah, I've actually been having this conversation a lot with my wife, who has recently been getting started working in the production world as well. A lot of people really fixate on how much money is being spent on like gear or what gear is being used or like the latest tech, thinking like that's gonna give their video that like professional polish. It's just the truth is the amount of money you're spending on it and how up to date the technology is you're using, all that kind of stuff, has almost nothing to do with how polished your video is going to look. It has everything to do with who you're hiring and if they know how to deliver what it is you're looking for.
Yeah.
A lot of things to a lot of business owners feel unattainable. Not just business owners, just I talk to producers, people in the film industry sometimes. Like if something is outside of your expertise, it's going to sound unattainable and difficult. And you're going to look for, obviously, ways to get there. And the truth is, when you speak to someone like me, sometimes you might talk to me and I might say, yeah, that would actually be really difficult. A lot of times you'll talk to me and it's, oh, that's easy. Just do boop, 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 and there you go.
Yeah.
So like things that might seem really difficult may not actually be as tricky as you think.
Yeah. Well, and I think of somebody like you, Will, you have this impressive reel where you've done all these great films, these shorts, these features, and I'm sure somebody looks at it and go like, yeah, no way am I going to even be able to touch, and get that kind of quality from somebody without spending, half my annual budget on it.
Yeah.
But really like, one of our favorite questions I always give, how much does a video cost?
Yeah, what's the budget?
Like, my response usually is, well, how many car crashes and explosions do you want in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of it. But speak into that. Like, how much does a video cost, and what are the factors? Let me just ask that question. And what are the factors I have to think about?
I mean, first off, I would say, like, if you go to my website, you watch my reel and the projects I post there, some of them are, a bigger budget. A lot of them are not, and are really shoestring budget where we're working with basically nothing, and it's still some of my best work. And that's true pretty much no matter what level a filmmaker is at. So how much a video costs? I mean, anywhere from 200 to 200,000. I don't know. It's like, it's very like, it really depends on what you need. And I know that sounds like, I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like kind of like a cop-out response, but it's true. Like, if you literally just need someone to put like an iPhone on a little gimbal and walk through a house for your realtor video or something, real estate video. I mean, yeah, that's going to take someone 30 minutes to shoot, and they can edit and have you like front back several hours. And like, that's not going to be expensive.
Person, no crew.
Yeah. And like, there are a lot of like, definitely a lot of inexpensive videos out there. But, you know, if you need to do some, you know, huge, you know, commercial where, you know, you have someone like flying in and landing on set, and, you know, like, maybe not even an explosion, but just like, you know, some kind of like maybe stunt work or something, like, there comes a point where like, you're just going to have to spend some money and get a whole crew in there and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes the difference between like a video that's going to cost you, you know, $30,000, what can move that to something that'll cost you like, you know, a few thousand, is like one simple creative change. And that's why like I go back to planning, like have those discussions, you know, ahead of time, be flexible with the specifics of your video.
Yeah.
And it can really, it can do a lot. I find the best way that a business owner can approach, I think, trying to get a video for themselves, isn't to come in and say, hey, here's my idea, how much will it cost? But rather, like, just let them know your budget right up front. We all have heard like the bad advice of don't be the first person to name the price.
Yeah.
You just have to know how to name it.
Yeah.
My brother used to sell cars for a living. And once I was going to go looking for a car, and I was having a lot of trouble. I was struggling to find something, you know, and I called him up and he gave me the advice, just walk into the dealer and tell them exactly how much you want to spend. And I was like, really? You know, and he said, yeah, that way they'll know how to help you. Like if you give them your budget, then they're going to be able to like match you with the right car. And I thought, well, that actually makes a lot of sense. I walked into a dealer that day, gave them my price, and the guy matched me with a great car. And it's the same with the video. Like, you know, when I'm reached out to with someone that just says like, here's what our budget is, then now I have this like framework to work within.
Yeah.
And that helps me meet their needs better.
Well, you can't, I think they cannot forget the fact that they're working with a creative person. So a creative person is going to figure out creative options, creative solutions. You know, like one of the ways I like to work is I always like to start big. Like, all right, let's start with your big dream, and then we'll let reality come in. Yeah. And then we will shrink it down accordingly. And I'm sure that's the same for you.
look at, you know, my website, look at my work, all that. I myself and any good creative is always going to want to try to deliver a product to you that feels like it's more than what you paid for.
Yeah.
Like my focus is never just on like jumping on this project and making a buck. Like, of course I got to feed my family, but also like I'm thinking about how is this going to look on my website? Like, how can I use this to get more videos, which means, or more clients. And that means I want to make something really great that impresses people.
No, that's a very good. I mean, I've gone to that same. That's a very good reminder. Like, one of the expressions out there is work leads to work.
Yeah.
And so as creatives, we want to be producing stuff that we are proud of.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go at least the ones that you want to work with, I'll say, are going to be, all right, no, I'm only going to do it. I'm going to do it at this level. And if your budget can do that, I will work with you. And if it can't, I'll tell you it can't. And then maybe find a meet in the middle. Yeah. You know, this way, like, okay, all right, if you just added X amount of dollars to it, you can decide, is that worth it or not? You know? But it doesn't hurt to have the conversation, right?
No. And like, I tell people, whether it's, a feature film or a corporate video or whatever, it's always the same, right? Like if I'm shooting a movie, I want to try to shoot it well enough that it'll get me the next project, more work. It's the same with a corporate video. And I'm never insulted by an offer. If you call me up and it's like way below what I'm willing to do, I'm not going to say like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm worth so much more
I'm
than
offended.
this. No, it's like, well, thanks so much for thinking of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not able to go out and, I'm not able, I'm not sure if this is for me, but most of the time it's not for me. Like I'll know someone who would be perfect for it. So I can help. I love helping people. I love introducing people. So like, that's always something that I try to remind people, like an offer is never insulting. It's tone that's insulting sometimes, but like, but even then, like, whatever, I got thick skin, like, just reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question. If somebody's working, whether it's with you or any other creative video person, they're told actually should be this price. And I, as a business owner, feel like, whoa, that just sounds way too much. Can you speak into maybe why it might be higher than they think? Why is oftentimes video is more expensive than people think?
Right. I mean, it is like, to a certain extent, like a lot of money is a lot of money, no matter where it's going, I think sometimes, we don't bat an eye at like, building a fence for like $7,000, right? But it might seem like a lot of money when you're asking for like a film production and the quote comes back, it depends. Like, a local business, some of these small businesses, like, between that like 2,000 and 10,000 range can feel like an awful lot. And because like they're not like these big corporations that can go and drop 100, 200 grand on some commercial campaign, and I think like the reminder there is whether it's, 5,000, 10,000, 200,000 or whatever, think about like what it is you're getting for that. Like you're usually getting a creative person who's going to collaborate with you, come up with some ideas, plan, all that kind of stuff. But then also like, what I try to do whenever I give some sort of a quote to, I love still doing shoots for local businesses between movies and stuff like that. I think it's great. And I try to outline specifically everything that's included in this, whatever the price is.
Yeah.
Rather than just, you're going to get a video and this is how much it costs, but letting them know like, here are all of these specific crew positions I'm bringing on. So even if they don't know what it means, they might not know what a grip is, for example, but it's like, I'm going to bring in a gaffer, a key grip, a grip, a sound mixer, a PA, so that it's, I feel like think of like any video producer you're talking to, think of them like a contractor. And because that's what they are. Like when you're building a house, the contractor is pulling together a crew, creating a plan for a project, and then building that building. And
they need their plumber, their framer.
Yep.
Drywall guy, whoever it might be, they're gonna pull them in just the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And you might be able to get someone to come out there solo and like, nail some boards together, for something simple. But like once it starts getting just, more complex, then
you need more crew. Well, and I think the other side of it is each crew member that you're adding, you're actually economizing your time a little bit more.
Yeah.
So like, hey, if just Will comes out, all right, it's going to take him X amount of hours to do this. You let him bring an assistant. Well, the amount of time he's going to need to produce that. Just got a little smaller. You let him bring in somebody else, gets a little smaller, right? And then you can get more done. In that time. Is really another way to look at it.
That's true. You're like, you're buying yourself space. I think another thing that makes people maybe have some of that sticker shock is they actually don't know what they want, like with the video. Like they don't know how they're going to use it. So, for example, I've done videos before where I've shot a video for a company, and then I realized like a year later that it just kind of went on their YouTube channel. There's a link to it on their website or something maybe. And it's just kind of buried. They don't really have a social media presence, like it's not really being used. Whereas there are other times when I shot stuff and then it's like, oh, I see like this company is like using and reusing and reput, like, you know, like they're getting like real mileage out of this product I shot for them.
Yeah.
They're getting their money's worth. It's because they didn't just come to me and think, well, I guess we should have a video. You know, they have a specific marketing plan that the video is a part of. So I think that also helps. If you're not just approaching videos like, I guess we should have a video, but a specific plan. Like there's a nonprofit I've shot some, done a lot of work for. And, you know, they, a couple of the videos I've shot for them, like they've been able to come back and tell me, like, you know, for the following years, the impact those videos have had, which is always really cool to hear. And like, it's not just because the videos are great, you know, but it's like they had a plan for each of those. Like they know they're going to go to like these specific churches. They're going to show them at these events, and they're going to, you know, put them on these email. Like they're really like putting those videos to work.
Yeah.
And I find like when your videos are being put to work, then like that money spent, it doesn't feel like it's as much.
Yeah.
But when it's just a video and you don't have a plan for it, and you're just kind of thinking like, hoping that you might put it on YouTube or Instagram and it's suddenly going to make your business blow up, like, well, I mean, it's going to feel like wasted money.
Yeah.
Even if you just spent a few $100s on it. So
yeah. No, absolutely. I agree with you. I hate seeing a production that you put all this time and energy to just it didn't get used.
Yeah.
Like you feel like, even though it really wasn't your call, but sometimes you feel like, well, did I just waste their time and money? Because they pay me all this. You know, it's not on me that they didn't, but how do I?
It's easy even for me sometimes to feel like I wasted my time on it, you know, like, cause sure, I made some money, but I just like, I put this effort into this cool thing, and nobody's seeing it.
Yeah. No, we really want to be partners with our clients in that sense of like, we want you to be successful because of this.
Yep.
You know, you know, just from an integrity standpoint, but also it's good business, because if it works,
of course,
they can call you back for more, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this question. All right. You talked about the pricing and how things work and all that. There's a really more inexpensive way to produce video these days, and it's with our friend AI.
Yeah.
Why should somebody call you and not use AI, or is there a meet in the middle there somewhere?
You know, I'm increasingly feeling like there's really not a meet in the middle place. So here's the thing with AI video. I've got a lot of thoughts on it. And generally speaking, I think like generative AI video right now, and probably forever for moving forward, is a waste of time and money. It does cost money to create.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like you've probably heard it said before, like people say like AI video is the worst that it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better from here.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, like with that argument, it means that if you make it now, you're immediately dating that video you made.
Mm-hmm.
If you make an AI video for your business now, it will be outdated in probably less than a year's time.
Yeah.
And on top of that, look at the demographics, the people who are excited about AI. I'm just talking about video, I guess, since that's, you know,
just stick to video. That's fine.
It's people our age and older who think this is a fun toy. I don't know how your kids are, but my kids hate it. They hate AI video.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as they see something as AI, they're
they
completely tuned out. Oh yeah,
they know it. They're like, oh, that's AI, and you're like, sometimes.
And it's never in a positive way. It's never in a this is cool technology. They hate it. And even like, you know, going on a larger scale, like this new movie that just came out, Backrooms. The director for that was like 19 years old when they shot it. He's 20 years old now. And he's been saying, you know, with AI and stuff like that, like he doesn't like it. He never wants to use it. You know, he thinks he has a really great take on it where like as soon as you realize something is AI, like an image, you don't want to explore the frame anymore because you know there wasn't a human there deciding I'm going to place this thing over here or light this corner a certain way.
Interesting.
You know, Yeah. So suddenly it's just like you can't help but be uninterested in the video. So all of that to me tells me all I need to know about the relevancy of AI video. If all of the old folks are thinking this is a cool shiny toy, but then all the young people don't want to have anything to do with it, then AI video has no future. And
that's the tell.
Yeah. So like, because you know, all the other technological turns, like you remember, you know, when we were younger, I remember like a bunch of kids in high school and college using CG because they loved it, and they were doing like lightsabers or blasters, you know, stuff like that, you know. Yeah, I mean, technology, I think like how the young people adopt it is really telling. But also like with and so bring that to business owners video. Like I think personally that AI video cheapens brands. I think it creates distrust in their product. That I think it communicates like, are you afraid to actually show your actual product? You know, and that's why you're kind of hiding behind AI. You don't want people to think that. Also, I think a lot of times people turn to AI because, kind of like what I was saying earlier, to them, getting these professional results feels unattainable. And they think AI is the only way they can get there. But the reality is, it's not unattainable. It's not that hard. They just need to hire the right person. So maybe it is going to take a little bit more, you know, research, finding the right like local professional who can do what you want to do. And realizing like it may not actually cost as much as you think it's going to cost. And then when you have that video created by a professional, it can have a long shelf life if it's done well. And it's not going to be outdated in a year or 2 years or whatever. Yeah, and it's personal to your brand and to you. So
no, I love that. I think one of the things, because with what we do with Build Your Authority, it's about trust. It's about building trust. Your authority comes from trust. If you don't have trust, means that you don't have anything, and you got to have those relationships to build that trust. And if what you're always putting out there is the fake you, the fake product, the fake whatever, then that's going to be what your brand and your product is going to be perceived as. There.
Yeah, exactly. Fake.
And we always are the mantra. I have so many mantras, but another one is authenticity over perfection. And one of the tells of the AI is just that it looks overly perfect. And seeing the imperfections there actually sometimes can be a charm to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? As long as you're authentic, right? You're really getting it.
I've seen videos like, you know, the ads that play before, like in the movie theater before a movie or something like that. I've seen ads that are, you know, kind of corny for like local businesses or whatever, but like, but I'll watch it and like, oh, these plumbers look like they know what they're doing, you know, like cool. Like, but then now I've been starting to see some AI ads come in, and play. And every time they do, I just think like, why would I call these people? I don't actually know what their product even looks like. Like,
is that really them? Is it like the Matrix where it's like, well, that's what Neo looks like, you know, out there. But then when you get, you know, behind, you get out of the Matrix to see what he really looks like. And he's really not that strong and not really that trained or whatever. You know?
I just showed that movie to my daughter.
I have not done that one yet. But, oh no, I probably should have started with that because that's a fascinating conversation right there. But Will, if somebody is like out there and they're like, I love what this guy's saying, I'd love to have a conversation because I know I want to do something for my business. How would they best get a hold of you?
I like to keep all of my contact information secret, so you'll never know. On my website, it has all of my info on it, like front and center, my reel, my work, and then on every single page, just at the very top of the page, is my email and phone number. My website is my name, WilliamHellmuth.com, and go there and you can find out all about me.
All right, WilliamHellmuth.com. Well, there you have it. If you want a quality director of photography, I highly recommend William. I've worked with him on many projects. Clients have always been highly satisfied with his work. He is the man, WilliamHellmuth.com. And also, if you're a local business in Orange County and you're looking to build your authority, build your trust that we were talking about, feel free to take a look at our website, buildyourauthority.co. And we can get you started here, creating content here within our own studio, producing your own podcast where you can build trust and authority to help your business grow by building your authority. I'll say that again, build your authority. Will, thank you so much for being with me, and we'll see where everything goes from here.
All right. Thanks for having me.